Hey, welcome to Drawing with Waffles. This week we're going to draw Bobby Hill in Bowsette's outfit. So I'm starting here with a sketch of Bobby, like a rough sketch of Bobby doing the "what are you talking about" thing. It not the best thing, it's not the prettiest looking thing, but you know, it's a start. That's how you get started. And then we just go with the sketch thing. It's not going to be the final version of it. I'm just getting a rough idea of how it looks like, or maybe I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've drawn this. I had one of those artist moments when you just like see something and you're instantly, I gotta draw this. Bobby Hill, Bowsette, it's gotta happen. And I know I'm like super late to this whole Bowsette train, and I don't know if it's relevant anymore. I just wanted to draw this for whatever freaking reason. I thought it'd be funny, and for the most part it is. I have not seen Bobby Hill dressed as Bowsette yet, although I'm probably butchering this meme. I'm not pretending to be like a part of this whole, oh, I understand what the Bowsette meme is. I know it's just like freaking Bowser with that Toadette crown or whatever the hell you call it. I don't know. I try to stay away because Jesus Christ, basically. And yeah. So I figured this is something people would, I wouldn't say appreciate, but it's definitely something. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and draw the hand here. I had so much trouble with this. On the final the sped up version of this video, it ended up being 2 minutes. And what's this video, like 11 minutes? It's 2 minutes on the hand. And no, I had to cut it, so you'll see the little transition in a bit. But yeah, I spent way too much time on this hand. I eventually just went back to the basics, so you saw that. I usually don't do that, I just go for it, but if I'm having a lot of trouble with it, I mean, you gotta do that, right? It's the fundamentals and whatnot. And I had a lot of trouble with the face in the same way I did with a hand, where it just looked a little sloppy and not correct. Like, this boy is not correct. And yeah, although I didn't go back to the fundamentals with the head, I'm usually more comfortable drawing the head, because that's all I did when I first got started, just draw heads, like freaking just portraits. And I just drew them from like the chest up, and anything below that I just sucked for the longest time. I spent like 2 years doing exactly that, and that's a very shitty thing to do. I know it's easy, but if you guys are getting started drawing, don't do that. Just always get out of your comfort zone when it comes to drawing. Never, even if it doesn't look right, at least try. That is my advice to you, because if you don't do that, you're never gonna grow out of your whole like, oh, I can't do this thing. And it sucks, because you're gonna want to be like, oh, I'm an artist, I could draw, like, and you could draw like heads really well, but you suck with everything else, and you're just gonna get stuck in that rut for the longest time, and it's just terrible. So I encourage you, just get out of your comfort zone and just go ahead and draw. At least once a day, try to draw something you're not comfortable with. With me, it's like hands and feet. I'm starting to get the hang of clothes and wrinkles and all that, and that's definitely hard to do. And it's especially hard when you're shading it, because there's no really right answer. I mean, there kind of is. You have to keep in mind where the light is going, and you know, the shadows will reflect that. But other than that, you could just go ahead and be creative, and whatever looks good will stick. You know, just keep your art style. And yeah, so it's funny too, because in the last 2 years, that's when I'm starting to get my art style down. So this is basically it. And I don't know how well it would. When I started this, I didn't know how well it was gonna translate to cartoons, because I'm used to drawing like anime stuff. That's always what I've wanted to draw, because I love the anime art style. But that's a whole nother topic. And with cartoons, just shading doesn't look right, because if you see in any promotional art outside the cartoon, they don't shade it. Like, I think that's true of The Simpsons, Family Guy, King of the Hill, and I don't know, American Dad, or Rick and Morty even. Those do not look good shaded at all. Like, they're drawn so it's just flat colors will look nice all the time. And it kind of sucks, because I feel like you're limited in that way, and you have to do a lot of guesswork when it comes to shading. But it doesn't look right, because I guess it's because you're so used to seeing the characters without any shading in the cartoons or any art really, that just shading it, just, I don't know, they just feel weird. And here's a stupid example, but like, if you ever seen like Simpsons porn, they shade it, or like, oh my god, they do though, they do, and it just doesn't look right. You can tell it's the same characters, but just something about them, other than their nudeness, it's just not right. And that was my main fear with this drawing, just like the shading. I think it turned out alright in the end. It's not too bad, at least I like to think so. But it's definitely weird. There's something about it that just doesn't scream, you know, Bobby Hill. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because my art style isn't really, you know, in line with the whole, you know, King of the Hill art style. Well, I don't know. I don't know who, I think it was Mr. Judge. I forgot his first name, but something Judge, he made this show. I don't know if it's his art style or he just got like freaking artists to do it for him. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that line of thought, but yeah, that's mostly my only concern with this. And as you can see, I had a little trouble with a crown. I still don't think it looks right, but that's the best I could do, so I just went with it. And yeah. And it's interesting because when I was watching King of the Hill back in the day, I thought Bobby's hair and his skin just fused together. I mean, I guess they sort of do. I just couldn't tell them apart for the longest time. I thought they just like, oh, he's just bald or something. He just got like super short hair. And I couldn't fault him for that because my parents did that shit to me when I was growing up. They just shaved my head. Not all the way, but just shaved it like enough that it's just like a little fuzzball. And every time I see kids like that, I just get freaking PTSD flashbacks of that shit. It's terrible. It's a terrible hairstyle. So that's kind of why I grew it out now. I have my hair grown out. It looks like ass, but hey, at least I get to choose the hairstyle this time around, right? My god, I remember one day, not one day, like one whole year of my life, I walked around with a buzz cut, like a military buzz cut in 5th grade. I looked like Gus Griswold, but fatter. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna change the color of the background in a bit, and or I don't know, I'll just talk about it when that happens. But yeah, oh god, this little middle jewel thing that Princess Peach has, it's bigger than this, okay? It's always bigger than this, but the reference I was using had this tiny freaking thing. Like they just wanted to make the boobs look bigger. Anyway, there's the background change. I do that so like you could tell if there's like a part of the dress that you didn't color in. You know, just contrasting the colors that I'm using. It probably doesn't work well with white, and I'm sure I missed some spots with the white, but you can't really tell, so it's fine, I guess. But I had that problem when I started drawing, so you know that's why I do this now. It's really helpful if you guys like have that problem as well, but I don't think you do. I think it might just be an open canvas situation, because I have not seen anyone who uses a different art program have that problem. Like I didn't even have that problem when I was using the Sigh, like Paint Tool Sigh. I wanted to get that program, but I just didn't know how. The website looks sketch as fuck. And I used this. I used their trial for the longest time. I found a way you could reset the trial. So every time it expired, I just did that. It's a shitty thing to do, and I'm freaking sorry, freaking Paint Tool Sigh people. But I wanted to buy it. I just don't trust your website. It looks super sketch. And I ended up going with Open Canvas on Steam. Holy shit, that looked scary. But yeah, I ended up going with Open Canvas, and at first it sucked ass because it was like that transition back in the day. I don't know if you younger people know about it, but like when you were still using MySpace and then Facebook started being the thing, like that transition, it was like that. That's exactly how it felt like from going from Paint Tool Sigh to Open Canvas 6. And there's a new version of Open Canvas, but I don't really trust it because this is missing a lot of freaking features that, you know, other programs have. I have GIMP too, but I hate using GIMP. It's like Photoshop, and I also hate using Photoshop. I don't know, it seems unnecessarily like super confusing. So yeah, here goes the shading. I think yeah, there we go. And I start off with that, then I just smooth it out so it looks more natural. I generally don't like to do that anymore. That's what I used to do when I first started, but it just bleeds out of the lines if that makes any sense. So like if I did that freaking what you call it, that tool thing, whatever, right there, it would have just bled outside of the line. So I like to do like two different styles for the skin anyway. I like to blend it, but for like the clothes and the hair, I don't do that generally because it just doesn't look good. So you know, I only do that for the skin if I have to, but only when it's the light thing, I guess. The dark part of the skin, like the shading bit like that, I usually just keep like that. I don't normally do that, but I don't know. I think I wanted to mix things up on this, or maybe I wanted to rush it because I need to do these fast. Usually I like to take my time when it comes to drawing, but I don't know. I think with these I just feel like super rushed to get them out. cause like it's this whole mess where you have to edit the video and we just draw the character, and I usually take a couple of days to draw one character. I'm getting faster now. Before it took me like a week to get one character just done like really well. Now it just takes me like at most 2 days to figure it out. Like if it's like a super detailed character drawing, then yeah, it takes me like 2 days. But with the simple things, I go pretty fast. And half the time they don't look right. Like you could tell there's a lot wrong with them that needs to be fixed. But usually I'm getting better at that too. See, like right here, the dress. Shading black is just always weird. I don't generally like to do that, but I don't know. I just wanted to rush this one. I feel bad about it now, but at the time I'm like, I need to get this done because I don't have that much free time. And yeah. So yeah, oh god, the shell. Yeah, I almost didn't draw the shell, but then I noticed that yeah, Bowser has a shell. I don't know if Bowsette has one. I like to assume she does, but I barely see it. There's usually just boob shots of Bowsette, so people are generally distracted by that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Next week's theme will be right here, and I'll see you next time.